Moving to LA and coming to parenthood somewhat late in life has given me the opportunity to reinvent myself. But to tell you the truth, I've been a little blocked as far as new ideas go, and more than a little delirious of late. Enter the word cloud, a small but mighty app that reminded me of what I love most about my work, the audience, and interacting with them, whatever the model and whatever their age. It seemed kind of weird to define myself through others, so I looked for a chart. I love charts, especially charts with spectrums, and a second realization hit me. I've always felt the most inspired and often the most terrified when I'm playing in the participatory end of things. Like Harold, a full-on participant in the invention of new worlds, inspired by and inspiring. I like that duality. Somehow it speaks to me. Similarly, Matthew Reason's research plays with this when he invites kids to draw their own theatrical experiences. They respond to watching art by making art in another discipline. And Reason ends up with research that exists across the full spectrum of art making to art watching. How cool is that? It got me thinking that I have always felt the most present in my work when it contains these kinds of dualities: artist, educator, administrator, creative, teacher, student, manager, team member. What may seem like contradictions to some have always been the creative fuel of my most fulfilling work. Like when I got the chance to learn from Jonathan Schmidt, a former student and employee. As a member of his shadow play artistic team, he gave me the opportunity to learn from him as well as from our future audiences through creative collaboration. Being in the moment with those kids forced me to get out of my head and enjoy all of the seemingly endless artistic possibilities they presented us with.
They decided that shadows go to the moon while we sleep. So that's where we went.
Like CTC's Kid-Centricity and the Kennedy Center's What's Going On Now projects, the slides I've gathered for tonight are examples of artists, educators, cultural organizations, school districts, and others that are exploring and redefining the very nature of our creative transactions with kids. They are moving across that audience development spectrum, there's that word again, from the receptive and into the participatory realm by inviting kids into rehearsal rooms, design labs, art studios, social media outlets, and even into the script development process itself, and by bringing these processes and their disciplines into schools and in some cases into school districts. The inspiration part for me often comes from playing with the roles and responsibilities that we use to define ourselves. Allowing these to shift and allowing myself to be shifted is inspirational. The Shadow Play project was my re-entry into professional life, and making that leap, taking those risks, giving myself permission to play many and new roles was exhilarating. It also reminded me the importance of listening, really listening, and of taking the time to wait for, absorb, and consider what comes up when you mix things up, like when this 4-year-old led a rehearsal process on memory. Taking what comes up is a concept many of us have learned and even teach in improv class, but rarely do we make the time to apply this idea to our work outside of the classroom. Are we really ready to take what comes up when we ask big questions? This 5-year-old was asked what happens to people when they die. I think we have to, or at least I really want to. And not solely because it's good for kids, but because it's good for me. It's fun, it's hard, and it's exciting. Stimulating creative exchange and developing creative agency in myself, my artistic collaborators, and the kids I want to work with and to reach just might be how I actually want to define myself moving forward. It just might be the place where my next ideas are generated. You see, when we do this, we not only encourage our students to embody many roles, but we allow ourselves to play many parts, to get out from behind our desks and our titles and our comfort zones and our everyday worries to discover new things and to find new ways of working together. Maybe we can borrow a page from the Design World's book as they rally around applying what they know to making change in education as part of the right brain STEAM movement. These guys aren't afraid of multiple labels or of being characterized as change makers. They inhabit multiple spaces with ease, and I want to do that too. I find that incredibly inspirational. Take John Maeda. As RISD president, he is both scientist and artist, and now he is playing a major role in education reform as a STEAM advocate. Like him, we can and perhaps we should wear many hats, even simultaneously. By doing this, maybe, just maybe every once in a while, we can live up to the nascent NEA's ideal of revealing to ourselves and others an inner vision that can unite us. One that allows for powerful, complex moments of exchange between young person and work of art. An exchange that ignites, like this, rather than instructs, that doesn't get in the kids' way and allows for the kind of playful experimentation, whether for art making or arts learning or just for fun, that can yield fresh ideas and new perspectives. That possibility for creativity, collaboration, and connection keeps me focused on returning, like Harold, to the participatory part of this playground, to not only get new ideas, but to remind myself of why I'm here and just how much there is yet to do. Thank you.